Good evening everyone. In the last topic we discussed about types of projectile motion, and today we are going to discuss a new topic is called radian. So what is my radian? For example, we have a different units to express the angle. Is that clear? So for in commonly we are expressing the angle into degree. So we can also express the angle by radian. So radian is the unit of angle, another unit of angle. So with the help of this, it helps us to find the what? The volume of any sphere, or it helps us to find the area of the sphere, with the help of this radian, we can express the what? The area and as well as what? In the volume of any sphere. Is that clear? So first of all, let me tell you, we can take a circle, ma. We can take a circle. We have a center. We have a center. I am choosing 2 points. I am choosing 2 points in a circular path. So this is a one path, one point A. This is the another point is B. So this AB is called what? Arc length. The AB is called arc length or circular arc. If you join the A at point O, this is O. If you join the B at point O, you can see there is an angle is forming, There is an angle is forming. Is that clear? So the radian is defined as, or we can call it this angle called as a plane angle. So it is defined as, here we get theta. It is defined as when you divide the arc length, to the radius of the circle, is known as a plane angle or radian. So the radian is defined as when an arc length divided to the radius of the circle, we can get what? Radian. Is that clear? So here you can see that. So the arc length, the angle made by what? Arc length, Angle made by arc length. Is that clear? And when we say this is 1 radian, it's 1 radian. So when the arc length is equal to the radius of circle, when the arc length is equal to radius of the circle, we can put theta equal to r by r, that is equal to 1, Is it clear? How we can take? Just imagine, ma. So this is the, we can take, so this is the what? Radius of the circle, am I right? I am going to displace my radius along the tangential point. We'll get like this, along the tangential point. So if we adjust the thread like that, along with the what? The arc length, you can see that now the arc length will be equal to what? Radius of circle. The arc length is equal to radius of circle. That will be equal to what? 1 radian. Is that clear, ma? And next one, I am going to tell you, suppose if we have the thread here, ma. If we have a thread here. Is that clear? So if you complete one cycle, it will be 360 degree, So here we have a theta. If we complete full circle, so using the formula, theta equal to AB divided by R, AB divided by R. If we complete the full cycle, this theta will be 360 degree. What will be the arc length? Now this will be arc length. When you complete the cycle, a circle, if this will be arc length, the total arc length will be what? That's called perimeter of the circle, Total arc length. When you complete one full cycle, divided to what? Radius of the what? Circle, then R and R will cancel. Then 360 degree equal to 2 pi, Okay. So here we will get radian. So 2 pi will come in the radian, and here we have the degree. Is that clear? So if you want to convert anything degree into radian, I already told you. So degree is the unit of angle and the radian also unit of angle. So how do you express degree into radian, or how do you convert degree into radian? So now we have a 360 degree, ma. I can write a 360 degree as 360 into 1 degree equal to 2 pi, ma. So we are dividing 360 degree equal to 360 into 1 degree. So from this 1 degree equal to 2 pi divided by 360, 2 pi divided by 360. Now 2 and 360 will cancel, it will become 180, Is that clear? So I can take the value of 1 degree in radian will be equal to 5 by 180. Is that clear? So suppose if you are getting 50 degree or 57 degree. Is that clear? So if you want to convert into radian, you can put the 57 is same. In place of degree, you substitute value 5 by 180. Is that clear? So I can do 1 degree equal to 5 by 180 radian. Is that clear, ma? So this is the way we can convert degree into radian or radian into degree. So that is it. 360 degree equal to 2 pi radian. Is that clear, ma? So next we have a angular displacement. So what is my angular displacement? We just see that a particle is rotating about some fixed point. We are calling as a origin, the center of circle. Is that clear? You just see that initially the particle is at point A, initially the particle at point A, and the direction of velocity is this one, tangential to that point, tangential of the circle. Is that clear? Then after some time t, we can see that the position of the particle is here. So the direction of the velocity of the particle at this point will be what? Tangential of the circle. That will be what? B2. Okay. And here you can see, if you join the initial point and final point, there is some angle, There is some angle. This is called what? Angular displacement. Exactly, this is called as an angular displacement. Initially, the particle is at point A, After some time t, the particle reaches what? This point is called B, and there is an angle between the initial point and final point. This is known as an angular displacement. Is that clear, ma? So I can express this one. Suppose the length of this one is, I can take a S, ma. Is that clear? So by using the plane angle, what is my plane angle? Theta equal to arc length divided by radius. So I can take S by R. And the unit of angular displacement is called radian. The unit of angular displacement is called radian. And next one, angular velocity. So that is denoted by omega. That is denoted by omega. So what is my angular velocity? The angular velocity is defined as the rate of change of angular displacement. Because we know that the particle, it will take some time to cover an angle, So for example, initially it is at 0. It will take some time to make an angle of theta, So I can take the angular velocity is defined as, it is called what? That is change in displacement by time. Rate of change of displacement by time, which means angular displacement by time. So when the del t approaches to 0, you study the concept, then what will happen? This omega becomes d theta by dt. This is called angular displacement. The particle will take some time to make an angle between A and B, So that is theta equal to the angle made by in a given time t. So if you approach the del t equal to 0, it becomes omega is equal to d theta by dt. Is that clear? And next one, I can rub this one. And next one is called angular acceleration. And there is some acceleration, because you can see that the velocity of the particles keep on, here the velocity is v1, here the velocity is v2. Is that clear? So at every point, the direction of the velocities keep on changing, that we will discuss in the next topic. So what is the angular acceleration? It is denoted by alpha. The angular acceleration is given by the rate of change of angular velocity is known as angular acceleration. It's a velocity. The rate of change of velocity we are calling what? Angular acceleration. Is that clear? So I can put vector, it is a vector. Angular velocity is also vector, then angular acceleration also vector. So I can tell you the changing of angular velocity in the direction of angular acceleration. Is that clear, ma? That is called angular acceleration. Next one we can call what? Tangential acceleration. Is that what I told you? At every point on the circle, even though the magnitude of the velocity is same, but the direction of the velocities keep on changing. If you take the point A, point B, And if you take this point also, at every point you can see that the direction is keep on changing. So what is my velocity? Then velocity is given by speed in given direction. Speed in given direction. So if you take in the horizontal circular motion, at every point the magnitude of the velocities remains same. It is 5 meter per second. If you are measuring the velocity at any point in the circle, it is a 5 meter per second. Then what about the direction? See the direction at this point, see the direction at this point, and see the direction at this point. At every point, the direction of the velocities keep on changing. And then I can tell you there is some acceleration along the tangential of the circle. Okay, here we have an angle made by del theta. So by using a concept del theta equal to the length between A and B, I can take del S divided by R using the plane angle concept. What is the plane angle? Theta will be equal to arc length divided by radius. So here I choose the theta is equal to del theta, that is equal to del S by R. Okay, and from this I can write from this del theta into R equal to del S. Del theta R equal to del S. So now dividing the both sides with the time, because so when there is a displacement changes in given time, the same time the angular displacement also will keep on changing. So I can take del theta by del T into R equal to del S by, that is del T. Del S by del T. So I can write this one. I can have this one. Is that clear? So now you can see that. So what is by del S by del T? Del S by del T is called what? That is, we can also change this del T approach to 0. No problem. Del T approach to 0. So when the del T approach to 0, what will happen? This become a d theta by dt, that is equal to, that is into R equal to, so ds by dt. What is the ds by dt? The rate of change of displacement is called velocity, and we have a radius, and here the rate of change of angular displacement is called angular velocity. Is that clear? So we can that is v is equal to what? Omega into r. Okay, I can put the directions. Is that clear? And here the omega and r are perpendicular, because if you take any circular path, you can take any circular path, so the orbit is rotating about some fixed axis, about some fixed axis. So the direction of omega along this directions, and the r will be what? Perpendicular to that is angular velocity. Is that clear? So this is the direction of angular velocity. We are choosing some point. Is that clear? So that is r distance. It is perpendicular to the angular velocity. So I can take that this omega, this and r vector are perpendicular. Is that clear, This is I can take v is equal to omega into r. Now differentiating on both sides with respect to t. Is that clear? Then what will become? So that is dv by dt equal to d omega divided by dt into r. Okay, and this will be what? Acceleration. This will be acceleration. That is equal to d omega by dt is called what? That is called rate of change of angular velocity. The rate of change of angular velocity is called what? Angular acceleration into r. Angular acceleration into r. And this is the relationship between acceleration and angular acceleration. That is A is equal to alpha into r. Is that clear? So we found that tangential acceleration will be A, then angular acceleration will be alpha. This is the relationship between angular acceleration and tangential acceleration. Is that clear, Now the next topic is called circular motion or uniform circular motion. So what is my uniform circular motion? When an object is moving in a circular path, when an object is moving in a circular path with uniform speed, is called uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion. Is that clear? So which means I can choose different points in the circle. This is A, and this is B, and this is C, and this is D. So if you want to know the direction of velocity at different point, this will be direction of velocity, and this will be direction of velocity, and this will be direction of velocity. Is that clear? But what I am telling, when an object moving in a circular path with a uniform speed. So what I am telling, if you are measuring the speed of the particle at point A, B, C, D are same, are same. But the direction of velocity at every point is keep on changing, you know. Exactly, as I told you that, so velocity equal to speed. Velocity equal to speed in given direction. So what I told you, so we said that the speed of the particle at any point is the same. Whatever the direction, it's keep on changing. So when the directions keep on changing, the velocities also will keep on change. Will keep on change. Is that clear? And we know that the changing in velocity is called what? Acceleration. It's called as a acceleration. Is it clear, Marty? Every point, even though the magnitude of the velocity is constant, but the direction of the velocity is what? Keep on changing. So when the direction of velocity keep on changing, then velocity also keep on changing, and changing in the velocity we are calling what? Acceleration. So we can say that the uniform circular motion is also called what? Uniform accelerated motion. Uniform accelerated motion. Is it clear? Next one, I want to know what will be the direction of acceleration. There is an acceleration. There is an acceleration, and you can see that. Okay, so here we have one particle moving v1 velocity, and here one particle is moving some velocity. Here one particle moving with some velocity. So the particle moving with some velocity. So different path. I want to know what will be the direction of acceleration. I told you uniform circular motion is also called uniform accelerated motion. I want to know what will be the direction of acceleration. So please understand this one. When a body wants to move in a circular path, there should be some force should always acting towards the center. That we need some force always acting towards the center. That's called what? Centripetal force. What is my centripetal force? The centripetal force is defined as it helps the body, a force which always acting towards the center, which always acting towards the center, and this force helps the particle to move in a circular path. That's called what? Centripetal force. A force which always acting towards the center, and it helps the body to moving in a circular path. We are calling what? Centripetal force. And what will be the acceleration? The acceleration always in the direction of applied unbalanced force. So what is the direction of the force? Here the direction of the force acting towards the center. So I can take the direction of acceleration also acting towards center. Towards center. So we found the direction of acceleration when a particle moving in a circular path. I want to know what is the formula? What is the formula to find the acceleration acting on the body towards the center? So next topic, we are going to derive the formula to find the acceleration acting towards the center of the circle. So you can see that So here there is one particle, it is located at point A The particle is located at point A, then position vector I can take what? R1 vector. So the velocity of the particle at this point is V1 This point is a V1. Okay. Then after some time, so this will be what? The position of the particle. And the direction of the velocity at this point will be tangential to the circle. So this will be what? V2 This will be V2. So at this point I can take as a V And there is an angle, there is an angle. Is that clear? So I can take, so please understand this one. Initially the particle at point A, the position vector of point A will be what? R1, and this will be the direction of velocity. This will be a direction of velocity. And after some time t, the particle is at point B, the position vector of B will be equal to R2 vector, and the direction of the velocity at point B will be V2 and there is an angle is called del theta. And we know that, so it is called what? Initial point, and this will be a final point. The distance between the initial point and final point we are calling what? That's called as a displacement. You studied, the position vector. You studied the position vector and the displacement vector. So R1 is the position vector, then R2 is also as a position vector. So if you know the difference between the initial position vector and the final position vector, that is called what? That is called as a displacement vector. So if we extend this one, if you take, I can take, this is the direction of V1, so that is the direction of, I can take, so this is the direction of V1 and this is the direction of V2. Okay, so the velocity changes from V1 to V2. I can take, this will be what? So change in velocity. This will be what? Change in velocity. Or I can write this one. I can write this one. You can take, so this is the direction of velocity, and this is V1 and this is V2 and this will be what? This will be the, take a straight line and this will be a direction of changing velocity. The velocity changes from V1 to V2, that is acting along this direction. Likewise, see the position vector. So this is R1 vector this is R1 vector and this will be what? R2 vector, and you know that the particle is moving from R1 to R2 and this will be what? Our displacement vector is called del R. And here also we have some angle del theta and here also we have some angle del theta. So this is the change in velocity this is called displacement vector. So this is what? So the velocity of the particle at point A is V1, the position vector of V1 is R1. And the velocity of the particle at point B will be V2, the position vector of the particle V2 will be what? R2. Is that clear? Now using the concept of plane angle. What is the plane angle? The plane angle divided by what? The plane angle equal to arc length. This will be arc length, I can take, this will be arc length that is del V divided by B This is equation number 1. For this triangle, the arc length, which means I told you the plane angle, the plane angle is given by arc length to the radius. Is that clear? So here the radius I can choose as a velocity. Likewise, for this formula, plane angle is given by, that is called what? Arc length to the radius. What is the arc length? Is called del R I can put the radius. This is del R Here I can write del theta equal to del R by R. This is equation number 2 Is that clear So what I told you? So I use the plane angle concept. Plane angle is given by arc length to the radius. So here arc length is del V and radius is V For this triangle, the arc length will be del R and the radius will be R. You can see here also we have del theta, here also we have del theta. So comparing equation 1 and 2 comparing equation 1 and 2, that is del V by V equal to, that is del R by R Okay, so now del R equal to, now you transfer the R to this side, it become what? R into del V by V R equal to del V by V. Is that clear? So if you integrating both sides, if you differentiating on both sides by del T, and I can put here also I can put del T and here also I can put what? I can put with what? Del T. Here also I can put the del T. Is that clear Fine. So coming to this one, approach to 0. When the del T approach to 0, so what will happen? We can change this as dV by dt into V is equal to dr by dt into R Okay, and here you can see that. So what is by dV by dt? So dV by dt is called what? Acceleration. Okay, I can take it is an acceleration, that is equal to. And what is by dr by R? It's called as dr by dt. It's called as a velocity by R Is that clear So this is called what? Rate of change of velocity, acceleration. So rate of change of displacement is called velocity divided by R. A is equal to V by R, and here we have some V, Here we have some V. So now if we transfer the V to that side, we will get, if we transfer the V to that side, we will get what? A equal to V squared divided by R Is that clear I use the plane angle concept, and both sides we are dividing with what? Del T So when the del T approaches 0, del V by del T becomes dV by dt into V Here we have one V, don't forget. And likewise del R by del T becomes what? dr by dt, and here we have R. So this is called what? Rate of change of velocity is called accelerations divided by v, and rate of change of displacement is called velocity divided by r ma. If you transfer the v to that side, it becomes a is equal to v squared by r, and a equal to minus v squared by r. So what is the minus? The acceleration is always acting towards the center. That's why we are putting the minus. Is that it is always acting towards the center? That's why we are putting what? Minus. It is binding. Exactly, it is binding with what? Acceleration. That's why we put a is equal to minus v by r. So this minus, it always goes for that is a bonding mark. That is a bonding. Is that clear? And we know that v is equal to r into omega. Another formula, am I right? V is equal to r into omega. In place of v, if we substitute this value, that is a equal to minus ma. Is that clear? In place of v, we can put what? R omega whole square divided by r ma. Then what will come? So from this I can take a equal to minus r square omega square divided by r. This r and this r will cancel ma, and a is equal to minus omega square into r. Into r. Is that clear? This is the another formula of acceleration. Is that clear? Whether you are taking this formula, whether this one. So whether you are taking this formula, whether you are taking this formula or this formula, so both will get the same value. So actually the minus denotes what? The direction of acceleration always acting towards the center. Is that clear, ma? Fine. So today we discussed about what is meant by radian, and also we saw that how we can express degree into radian, and also we discussed about the plane angle. Then after that we discussed about angular displacement, and next one is called what? Angular velocity, angular acceleration, tangential acceleration, and we discussed about uniform, and we also derived the relationship between tangential acceleration and what? Angular acceleration. And finally we discussed about uniform circular motion, and we saw that in uniform circular motion all the particles, the velocity of all the particles move, it will be differ at every point, even though the magnitude is same, but the direction of the velocities keep on changing. And there is an acceleration. That acceleration is always acting towards the center of the circle. And here we have derived to find the value of acceleration which is acting towards the center. One is a equal to minus v squared by r, and next one is called a is equal to minus omega squared into r. Is that clear? And rest of the things we will discuss on tomorrow. Have a nice day.